Hello everyone, welcome to Canteen Cup. My name is Scott, and been away for a while. Been a little busy doing a couple different things, but having fun in the process. Boy, watching the weather, and I have software and subscriptions that lets me, take a really good look at the weather and the weather radar. I see the same things that the National Weather Service sees. And if you're in Alabama, whew, man, dig a hole and get in it. They're talking about very bad storms, lots of tornadoes, hail. I mean, if you're there, friends, be careful. Please be careful. Take shelter. Get in a safe place. From the Mississippi border through basically through Alabama, almost to the Georgia border, they're predicting very bad weather. In fact, the National Weather Service has rated it a high risk for tornadoes, severe tornadoes, long track tornadoes, severe thunderstorms. Please be careful out there. All right, so a couple things. I've been kind of laying low a little bit, doing a few things for funsies, and kind of getting ready for spring. And one of the things that we were discussing is what we're going to do with our back 40. And we call it the back 40, but really it's a pretty good, probably a little more than a half acre, and I'll kind of point it around. As you can see, things are growing. They're starting to grow a little bit better, and so I'm trying to decide, what are the next steps. I'm not ready for a garden yet. So what I'm going to do this year is, once this dries out a little bit, is I'm going to run a subsoiler and kind of break up the hard pan underneath and immediately throw seeds in there, so that the roots can get down into those furrows I made, and then that'll help break up the soil more. That's the problem we have here, is the soil is compacted and water's just running right off the top, and I want to get to where it goes down deeper, and when I get more roots down there, then it'll get looser, and then eventually I'll have good soil and I can start growing a garden. It just takes a little bit of time. So the question becomes, how am I going to do that? And I'm going to show you. I recently got this item right here. That's called a subsoiler, or a chisel plow. And this right here fits a 2-inch receiver hitch. Okay, and these are grade 2 bolts, and what that means is, if this plow hits something hard like a big rock or a stump, rather than break my tractor, it'll shear one of these bolts, and I just have to replace the bolt and not do that again. So this is my chisel plow, and this is where it'll go. This is my 2-inch hitch. I can pull off this, put that chisel plow right there, and then I can use my tractor to go up and down. This is only a 25 horsepower tractor, so it probably can't take any more than one plow. I had a friend of mine offer me an 8 or 9 plow, and I don't think it'll go. It's just a little tractor, but I think one plow will be fine. If I can't get it in one deep pass, I may have to take a couple shallow passes, but I don't want to go up and down that dirt any more than I have to, because then you're just kind of compacting it down again. So probably next week, after all this weather passes through, I'll get out there and I'll start subsoiling. The other thing I've been up to is kind of a fun thing. I've discovered that there's an amateur radio activity. It's called Parks on the Air. And for those of you that are in ham radio, you remember, I don't know, a couple of years ago, the ARRL had the National Parks on the Air, where you would go to a park, set up your portable station, talk to other stations, and then turn in your logs and you would get points. This is a kind of a continuation of that, except it's not sponsored by the ARRL. This is a separate organization. And if you want to find out more about it, you go to parksontheair.com, and that's all one word, Parks on the Air. And anyhow, I've been reading through it. They've been doing it for a couple of years now, and it looks like a lot of fun. And so this weekend, I'm going to take some of my radios, and I'm going to go to a state park over in Alabama. It's up on top of a mountain, and I'm going to operate for a while. I'll be on... I'm going to try to do FT8 for those of you who know what that is. If that doesn't work, then I may try PSK31. If that doesn't work, I'll just do voice. But I'll try and get some contact. So if you're, within range, it'll be Saturday afternoon, probably 0800 Zulu time or UTC time. But I thought it'd be fun. It's going to get me out. I get to play with my equipment. I get to adjust to see how it works. I'm not bringing as much stuff out because this is just for funsies as I would if I was deploying for an emergency or if I was bugging out. So part of what I was doing this week is I was kind of separating my stuff out. I still keep my other stuff in another tote that's part of my bug out kit, but I just kind of shifted what goes where, and the stuff I'm bringing Saturday is a condensed version of that. In other words, I'm not bringing really a lot of spares. I'm not bringing a lot of different antennas. I'm not bringing a lot of extra stuff. I'm just paring it down to what I need for that particular trip and see how it goes. If I have fun, I'll do it a couple times because we need to get out, all of us. And we need to get out, we need to practice. And if we are being communicators for our crews, then we need to practice and we need to go to the field. And sometimes the problem is finding somebody to talk to when you go to the field. For an example, one of the things I like about this program is they have a spotter system where you can spot where you are, what you're going to do. You can also post a schedule a couple days in advance to say, I'm going to be at this park on Saturday between these times and I'll be somewhere around these frequencies, so people will know you're there. Sometimes just going to a park and not telling anybody, well, number one, nobody may hear you, and number two, nobody's looking for you. So if you tell them you're going to be there, and like I said, this is kind of a contest thing where if somebody contacts you while you're in that park, they get points. If they know you're going to be there, they'll go looking for you, so you'll have somebody to talk to. And that's what I want to do. And, it's not, the setup is not extensive or it's as extensive as you want it to be. But it's just a little bit of fun. Get out a couple times a year, maybe get out many times a year and try your stuff. I'm going to try using FT8 out in the field, which has its own problems because FT8 requires an accurate clock. And if I'm not connected to the internet, then I have to find another way to make sure that my clock stays accurate. Because if you vary more than 1 or 2 seconds, then you can't make a contact using FT8. So I've got a little GPS that I plug into my USB port, and I got a little app that syncs my time, so that should take care of that. But I want to try it. And that's part of this, is we go out, we try things, we go have fun. And so for all you guys that are communicators out there, take a look at this and get out there and use your radios. Sitting in your home with all your tools and all your extra parts and all your extra antennas and all your extra stuff, it's well and good, because if something goes wrong, well, you just reach in a drawer or excuse me, or you get another radio or whatever. But you take your stuff out, and then if something goes wrong, you may have some real problem solving you have to do. And it's always better to figure this stuff out when you're doing it for funsies than when you're doing it for real. So I just want to check base. I'm wearing this. It's not raining right now, but we've had showers. It doesn't rain, it rains. It doesn't rain, it rains. Temperature is nice. It's probably in the 50s. It's nice and cool. And weather's coming our way. We don't have any watches or warnings yet, but I'm sure we'll get some before the night is out. But again, for you folks in Alabama, man, be careful out there. Pay attention to your weather alerts. Make sure your phone app is turned on for your announcements. Be able to, listen for your tornado warning sirens that are in your area if you have them. Now's not the time to be, playing a heavy metal band at full volume, because you might miss that warning until it's too late. So be careful, man. It's bad out there. So that's all I got. Everybody stay safe, and especially you guys in Alabama. Stay secure.